Welcome to Midnight Love Radio, where passion and mystery come alive after dark. Enjoy unforgettable romance, heartbreak, desire, and dramatic stories that will keep you listening until the end. Turn down the lights, relax, and let the night begin. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories.
Sebastian had everything men chased and everything women were warned about. At 29, he moved through the city like a storm, wrapped in silk suits and expensive watches, leaving desire behind him and damage no one could measure. Penthouse windows opened for him. Doors unlocked at the sound of his name. Hearts surrendered before he even smiled. Yet on the night he believed himself untouchable, a woman looked directly into his eyes, saw the emptiness inside, and turned away as if he were nothing. That moment followed him harder than any lover ever had. He had met Laura at a charity gala arranged by families who donated publicly and destroyed privately. Chandeliers burned above crystal glasses while ambition drifted through the room like perfume. Sebastian entered with the calm arrogance of a man who assumed the world belonged to him. People watched him the way people watched fire. Beautiful, dangerous, impossible to ignore. Then he saw Laura. She stood near a marble staircase in a black dress, so elegant it needed no ornament. Her beauty was immediate, but what unsettled him was not her face. It was her stillness. Everyone in the room performed for attention. Yet she seemed untouched by the spectacle. Men approached and retreated. Women studied her with curiosity sharpened by envy. She accepted admiration the way statues accepted weather. Sebastian crossed the room expecting the usual result. He gave her his most devastating smile. She looked at him once, calm and intelligent, then returned her attention to the orchestra. For the first time in years, he felt dismissed. He pursued her after that with growing obsession disguised as amusement. Flowers arrived at places she never visited. Invitations reached homes she never used. Rare gifts were returned unopened. Laura did not insult him, flatter him, or negotiate with him. She simply remained beyond reach, and that silence became more intoxicating than any praise. Ethan, Sebastian's oldest friend, noticed the change first. He had watched Sebastian treat affection like sport for years. But now, there were sleepless nights, canceled parties, untouched drinks. Sebastian asked questions about books Laura read, charities she funded, places she frequented. He was studying one woman more seriously than he had ever studied himself. What Sebastian did not see was how many enemies he had created in his careless rise. Vanessa had once believed she was the woman who could tame him. He had made promises with his hands and broken them with his absence. Public humiliation followed private betrayal, and though she rebuilt her life in diamonds and smiles, bitterness had remained. When she learned Sebastian was chasing someone who would not kneel, she decided pain should finally return to its owner. Mr. Harrison, Sebastian's father, had other concerns. A titan of finance, he viewed romance as weakness and marriage as acquisition. His son's reputation amused him when it served power and disgusted him when it threatened discipline. He had already selected a more profitable future, an alliance through marriage with a family that controlled ports, land, and votes. Laura was an unknown variable, and unknown variables were removed. Meanwhile, Adrian entered the picture like a correction. He was accomplished, disciplined, and quietly admired, the kind of man mothers trusted and investors preferred. Where Sebastian dazzled, Adrian steadied. Where Sebastian consumed, Adrian built. Laura accepted Adrian's company with visible ease, and the city noticed immediately. Newspapers printed photographs, social circles whispered comparisons. Sebastian, who had laughed at rivals all his life, tasted jealousy like poison. For the first time, winning no longer felt entertaining. It felt necessary. He changed tactics. He stopped sending gifts. He began appearing where Laura volunteered, where children waited for scholarships, where hospitals needed donors without cameras. At first, he came for strategy. Then something stranger happened. He stayed after events ended. He listened to stories with no benefit attached. He funded surgeries anonymously. He watched people thank strangers they would never know. Laura observed every step with unreadable eyes. One rainy evening, she finally invited him for coffee in a small place far beneath his usual standards. There were no chandeliers, no applause, no audience. Sebastian felt more nervous there than in boardrooms worth billions. She listened as he spoke about success, travel, acquisitions, parties, everything he usually used as armor. She seemed unimpressed. Then he spoke of his childhood, of a mother who vanished young, of a father who replaced comfort with contracts, of affection treated as leverage. Laura said nothing, yet he felt seen in a way admiration had never achieved. He left lighter than he arrived. Then the first blade struck. Anonymous stories flooded tabloids, women naming heartbreak, humiliation, discarded pregnancies, ruined reputations. Some accounts were exaggerated, others were true enough to wound. Sponsors withdrew from Sebastian's ventures. Investors hesitated. Social allies vanished overnight. Laura disappeared. Calls went unanswered. Messages unread. Her apartment empty. Sebastian searched with a desperation that embarrassed him. He bribed concierges, tracked reservations, leaned on contacts, and found nothing until Sophia, Laura's closest friend, agreed to meet him in secret. Sophia revealed what Laura never had. Years earlier, Laura's brother had worked for one of Harrison Industries' subsidiaries. He discovered fraudulent safety reports hidden to preserve profits. Before he could expose them, an accident killed dozens, including him. The scandal was buried through settlements and intimidation. Laura had spent years gathering evidence against the Harrison empire. Meeting Sebastian had originally been part of that plan. Sebastian felt the floor vanish beneath him. He had pursued a woman who intended to destroy his family. Yet the deeper wound came from another truth. Despite that beginning, she had changed too. She had not expected to care. Sebastian confronted his father that same night. Mr. Harrison did not deny the deaths. He called them necessary losses in a competitive world. He dismissed Laura's grief as emotional theater. He reminded Sebastian that fortune survived because weak men were willing to be hated. Something old and obedient died inside Sebastian. He stole internal files, copied ledgers, transferred hidden records, and prepared to expose everything his father built. Ethan helped him, though fear shadowed every move. But betrayal had not finished its work. Ethan had been reporting to Mr. Harrison for years. Every confession, every reckless night, every vulnerability had been sold in exchange for promotions and wealth. When Sebastian learned it, he did not rage. He simply looked at the friend he trusted most and understood why loneliness had followed him through crowded rooms. Laura reappeared on the eve of a massive shareholders' gala, where Harrison planned to announce Sebastian's engagement to a woman he had never chosen. She met Sebastian in an empty theater balcony overlooking the city lights. Neither touched the other. Both carried wounds caused by the same family name. She admitted the truth of her scheme. He admitted the truth of his cruelty. Neither asked forgiveness. Then she gave him one final choice: keep his inheritance and become his father, or burn the empire and lose everything. The gala began beneath roaring applause. Mr. Harrison stood on stage smiling like a king carved from ice. Cameras flashed, investors toasted. Sebastian walked toward the podium in a tailored suit, appearing every inch the obedient heir. Then he played the files. Screens across the ballroom filled with internal memos, bribery records, falsified inspections, death settlements, private messages ordering silence. Gasps rippled into panic. Phones rose. Security moved. Too late. Markets began collapsing before the speech ended. Mr. Harrison lunged at his son with a fury years in the making. Sebastian did not move. For the first time in his life, he accepted the hit. Police entered minutes later. So did reporters. So did ruin. By sunrise, Harrison Industries was frozen, raided, and bleeding value by the second. Mr. Harrison was taken away in handcuffs, still shouting about legacy. Ethan vanished from the city. Vanessa watched the downfall on television and discovered revenge felt colder than she imagined. Sebastian lost nearly everything. Assets were seized, friends evaporated, invitations stopped. His penthouse was sold to settle claims. Public sympathy remained scarce. Many believed his confession was strategy rather than conscience. Perhaps some of it had been. Weeks later, he found Laura at the cemetery where her brother was buried. Rain softened the stone names. She wore no glamour there, only quiet grief. Sebastian stood beside her with empty hands. No gifts, no promises, no practiced charm. He had come to ask for nothing. Laura studied the man beside her. The arrogance had thinned. The hunger for admiration was gone. In its place stood someone bruised, uncertain, and finally real. She took his hand. It was a small gesture, almost invisible, yet more powerful than every conquest of his former life. They did not walk into luxury. They walked into consequence. Lawsuits continued. Work had to be earned. Trust rebuilt slowly. Love did not arrive as fireworks or applause. It arrived as patience, sacrifice, honesty, and days no one photographed. The city would always remember Sebastian as the man who broke hearts and burned an empire. Laura knew something rarer. He was also the man who learned too late that love was never something to win. It was something one had to become worthy of.
Thank you for listening to Midnight Love Radio, where passion and mystery never sleep. We hope this story stayed in your heart and stirred your imagination. Until the next unforgettable tale of romance, heartbreak, and desire, take care and keep dreaming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and return for more amazing stories.